Guys, before we start, anybody facing any problem with the trailheads, please go ahead and let's talk about it.
Yes, I am facing. Can I?
Yeah, please, let's talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can share your screen and let us know what problems you're facing.
Yes. I'll share. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So here. So here I have already created the compact layout. Okay. One second.
Okay.
Let me show you that.
Yeah.
One second. So I have created a new custom object opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. So
New custom object.
yes, custom object. It is. They told me to create a custom object opportunity.
No. Go back to the training. They have said that compact layout on opportunity object. Opportunity is a standard object. We already discussed this many times.
Yes, but here,
Where is it written that you have to create a custom object?
create a custom opportunity compact layout, right? Okay. So
You have to create a opportunity compact layout on opportunity object, not on opportunity __ C object.
okay.
This is a custom object. You don't need this. Delete this.
Okay. How? Okay. Then I think we have to delete this. Okay.
There is a standard object called opportunity. That is what all the training is all about. Why are you creating a new opportunity?
Okay. So how? But it is not clear how to create. They have not told how to create.
Go up. It's not possible. Go up. Go up.
Okay.
No. On the training module. Go up. Yeah, this is the clear-cut steps they have given how to create a compact layout. They have given this step on energy
audit,
object.
right?
Yeah. So there now you have to do the same thing on opportunity object.
I have to create for opportunity object. So I have to go first to Salesforce then.
This is Salesforce.
Yeah. So I have to go to Sales Cloud.
Where did you hold on? Where did you create the compact layout? How did you create the compact layout?
Yeah, by actually following this procedure.
What is the procedure? Go to setup, click object manager, click on this object, and then click compact layout. Clear cuts 2 steps are given here.
Yes.
So let's do the same thing once again. So instead of energy audit, you have to now select opportunity object. That's it.
Yes. So if I go to setup and if I go to object manager, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Where will I get the opportunity here?
Click on the object manager. You are not clicking on the object manager. You are clicking on the drop down beside object manager. That is not the instruction.
Okay.
Yeah. Now go down and there is opportunity object. You can even do a quick find. We have gone through these steps many times. How did you create a new field in opportunity object?
Yeah.
This is the opportunity standard object. You go to that field and then on that you have the compact layouts and just create the compact layout here.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, I got it. So I think from here I can proceed.
Okay. What? Anybody else? Facing any problem? Please share your screen.
Yes, sir.
Palak?
I was having some issue.
Yeah, share your screen. Palak, Palak, you are facing any problem? Please keep it ready.
No, sir.
Okay, great, fantastic. Where are you, by the way? What is the number of? What is the trail status? Where are you right now?
Sir, I've completed admin intermediate. Admin advances left.
That's correct. Fantastic. Please go ahead and complete that.
Yes, sir.
And any confusion till now? Whatever we had discussed in the class, are the concepts are getting clarified now for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Sir, I have an issue that I'm not connecting all things with real life. Like how I work with project or something like that.
We will discuss. Just let us
Sir,
finish this, then I will talk about your real life connection. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
sir,
Go ahead.
yes, I was having a student object. Under here, I have two fields like amount paid and amount due, and here registration fees. So I have made a validation rule, formula rule, where whenever a course is being opted, the registration fees will be 5,000. It will
Okay.
be automatically.
Okay.
So, but now my requirement is in my course object. I have made a permanent field that whenever a course is being entered, the total fee should be 20,000. So, sir, I want that whenever a student is being entered, the registration fees will be 5,000. Whenever the amount is being paid, the amount will be entered. So the amount due automatically shows. How to do that? So that the amount due automatically prompts. Like registration
Amount
fee,
due automatically comes from where?
amount due comes from that using course object, like total course fee minus registration fees minus amount paid.
Okay. So there is no relationship between your course object and student object, right?
So yes, there is relation of many to many, but I have for that I have made a child object like student in course.
Student in course.
Yeah, target
This
object.
amount due is a formula field or what?
Amount due is not a formula field.
What is this?
Sir, what to do with that? How to make it? Because I have used workflow. In workflow, I think only
No, this your logic is wrong. A student can enroll to multiple courses, right?
yes.
So why you are asking registration fee? This is registration fee for which course?
Like any course, the primary registration fees is 5,000. That is mandatory to pay. Whenever
No, course opted, there is a drop down here on the student object. So the student can only register to one course. Your model is wrong.
Sir, I'm not getting you. What you
Just give me 1 second. So you in the student object, you have a course opted, right?
Yes.
What is field? It is the drop down field, or this is a pick? This is a lookup
Pick list field. Pick list field.
Pick list field has no value. A course opted course is a different object, and that has some values. And this course opted in the pick list has no connection between the course object and this object. So first mistake. Okay, this should be a lookup to your course object. If there is a one-to-one relationship between student and
course is a many-to-many relationship.
Many-to-many needs a junction object, right?
Yes, I have a junction object.
So why is this field here?
Because I want to show these on the student object.
For that you have the related list section.
Yes, I have a related list section, and
then why? The moment you put anything, any field in the student object, you destroy the many-to-many relationship.
Sir, I'm not getting you in this.
When you are creating a field in student object, see why Salesforce does not allow you to create many-to-many relationship directly on the object, because you cannot create it through fields.
Yes.
Exactly, that is what you have done, the same mistake. So if you are creating a field which is pointing to a course, then it is a one-to-many relationship, right?
Yeah.
So you have broken your own data model.
Yes.
You have to remove all fields of courses from the student object, and that should be only available through the child object. What is that? Student in courses. That is fine. Go down.
This is only last.
Yeah, let's go to new.
Okay.
Here you have the course lookup. I guess you will have a course lookup. Yes, correct. This is the right way of doing it. Here you should have a registration fee column.
Okay.
Here you should have a amount paid column, and amount due would be a formula field here in this object.
Okay. Sir, this formula field will be a cross-object formula field.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Sir, in a simple formula field, in a normal formula field, sir, only sir, what I'm saying.
A normal formula field uses fields in that same object. Cross-object formula field can use fields from parents.
Yes, sir. For workflow, sir, for workflow also is this same that from in the same object it happens.
Workflow does not work on parent object if it is not a master.
Sir, it applicable only for master detail.
Master detail, yes. You in workflow you cannot access your parent if it is not a master.
Okay. Sir, it is also working on the same object, right? If we want to update a field of a student, then the workflow must be on the student object only.
No.
So can we access that workflow like?
Workflow can be done on child or on child. From child you can update the parent. Workflow from child you can update the parent. You cannot do using workflow. You cannot update the child from the parent.
Yeah, we need to update the parent.
If you need to update the parent, then probably you have to use write the workflow on the child object so that the parent can be updated. But parent has to be master, otherwise it will not be possible. Okay.
So I'm stopping the share.
Yeah, thanks. So Palak, you don't have anything, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we'll get into our stories. Just give me 1 second. Let me share my screen.
So workflow works only in master detail.
Yes. No, not works in master detail. If you are trying to update the parent, then the parent has to be master.
Okay.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
So I will discuss workflow and workflow once again. So validation rule and workflow. Just give me 1 second. So validation rule and workflow rule. So give me the differences. First, this validation rule fires before create or update, right?
Yes.
Workflow rules fires after create or update. Clear? After saving of a record. And this is before saving of record. Validation rule before saving of record. Workflow rule after saving of record. Validation rule works on the object on which the validation rule has been written only, and its fields. Yeah? Here, workflow rule works on objects of on which you are writing your validation rule, workflow rule plus
Plus the
master
data.
fields. No, plus master fields. Okay.
Means as you said in the last class, right? Means validation rule does not apply while actually data is loaded, right? But
Who said? It is a complete reverse story. Validation rule is applicable for data loading. Page layout is not applicable for data loading.
okay.
So go back to my class, you can recheck that. So
Okay.
let's discuss validation rule and workflow rule. So workflow rule will fire on the object on which you have written the validation rule. But workflow rule, you can use workflow rule to fire on that object, but it can update fields not only on that object, it can also update fields on the master object. Clear? I'm mentioning master here because it is not normal parent. If it is a lookup, you won't be able to access it. We showed that in the last class, right?
Yes.
Okay. Clear this one? Any confusion?
No.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Something problematic is happening. Yeah. So now, workflow rule. In workflow rule, what you can do? You can send mails. You can create task. And what else you can do? You can send outbound messages and you can do field updates, right? Okay. In roll up summary, what you can do? And roll up summary you can write where?
In master detail.
Not master detail. Roll up summary is written in the master object. Roll up summary is only written on master object. This can count, sum, mean, calculate mean, minimum or maximum of any fields of your detail records. Clear? So the child records. So if you create a roll-up summary on your master object, then you can do a counting, summing, finding out the min value or max value in the detailed records or the child records. Clear? Any confusion?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where can you create? So another thing is formula fields. Formula fields you can create on any child where you can access parent fields. When you access parent fields, it is called cross-object formula.
Sir, once again repeat this.
Formula fields can be created on any objects. When you create formula fields on child objects, and in that formula you use parent fields, that becomes a cross-object formula field.
Yeah. So when I create formula field on the child object, and then
if you create a formula field on child object, that does not become a cross-object formula. If inside that formula you are using any field from your parent object, then that becomes a cross-object formula.
okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Any confusion till now? Okay. Now we are creating a new thing which is called process builder. Let's compare process builder with workflow, field update, and process builder. So the benefit of using process builder is in workflow field update, you cannot update or create any child records, right? You cannot do this. But here you can insert or update child records. Clear? That's a major difference between workflow and process builder. Are you getting this? Let's look at a process builder. So here, if you search with process builder, so let's auto create contacts. That is my process builder. What I want to create? I want to create automatically a contact, default contact, when I am creating an account. Okay. when the process starts. So this is a record changes. That is what my event is, right? There can be many different other process. This process can be invoked by other process also. This is a platform event. So I advanced. We will not discuss this. Let's save it. So what will you do? This is the flow diagram of a process builder. Right? In the object, it is showing here too. It's just like a workflow, right? Which object I am going to work on. So let's work on account object. When a record is created, that is the event. You can allow process to be evaluated multiple times in a single save operation. That means when the record is edited, this will be applicable, because when the editing works, maybe there is a workflow rule which is updating any field of that or record. In that case, this process builder will again fire, right? But I don't want to do that. It is a creation of record, so there is no need for it. So what is the criteria? Let's give some criteria. Maybe the criteria is create contact is a criteria. So let's create a formula field here. A new field here on account object that will make sure that a contact is created when I want the contact to be created. If I don't want, it will not be created. So in account object, I will create a new checkbox. It's called create contact. It is by default unchecked. I want this to be given to all layouts and profiles. Create contact is already there. Okay. What is the create contact field? This is already a checkbox. Great, fantastic. So what I want to use, I want to go to this create contact. No, sorry. Here in the account.
Same company.
Hello.
So it's two both with actually what are which
So I have selected this field, which equals to when it is a true. I want to go ahead. This is the criteria I have selected. So what happens is that when create contract is set to true, then what I want to do is, you see, there are different actions which I can do here. I can fire a text Apex class. I can fire a create record, email alert. So email alert we already did in workflow. So you get the same thing here from here. You can fire a flow. We'll discuss that next. We can do a post to chatter. We can do different processes. We can do quick actions. We can fire quick actions. Just quick. What is quick actions? Quick actions are buttons on the screen itself. So it is just like firing that button. We can add quick documentation, update record, submit for approval. Everything can be done. All these functions are available here. You see, outbound message is not possible, but through this Apex code, you can fire the integrations also. Anyway, so if I do a create record, because I want to create a new contract, right? Create contact action. Record type is contact, right? What is the default values, or we have to set this external ID and last names are the mandatory fields. So I can set some default values.
One question like that create contact that true false, right? So if the create contact checkbox is checked, right? That means there.
Sorry, please come again.
That actually create contract true or false. That means create contact checkbox is checked, right? True.
That's
If
correct. Yes, yes, yes.
okay, okay.
Here maybe account maybe account. I will use my account description to add my fill my value for this, and probably I will use my account ID as external field. Account ID there is a account ID, account number. So I have chosen these two fields of account to map to my two fields of contact. Clear?
So this is not clear.
So when I create a contact, what are the bare minimum information you have to create? So if you go to this, when you go to in the sales and you create contact, create a new contact. You have to create this, put this last name, right? And you have to put this external ID, right? These are the two mandatory fields, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You cannot put more. If you do not put these values, then the contact will never get created, right?
Yes.
So exactly the same thing we are doing here. Here, what have you done? You have created a new contact through create contact action, and the external ID you have filled from account number, account field, because this process builder is firing on account, right? This is on account object.
Yeah, yeah.
Created, then it is firing. So from account fields, I am getting the values so that I can create the contact with those values, right? These two fields are mandatory. So I am using the description field to put the last name, and I am using the account number to put the external ID.
Sir,
I also need another field called account ID, which is the ID field, and that should be the account. It should be also field reference. It will be the account ID itself, right? And only this contact will be connected to my account, isn't it?
Sir, but this one thing, this last name and the field reference from account description, but account description has the same last name of that contact.
No, I will fill that.
Oh, just to skip that validation rule so that doesn't error comes. So we are selecting this.
That's correct. You have to fill the values, right?
Okay.
How will you create a contact without the last name? You cannot do that, right? So where will the last name be created? This will be automatically created, right? There would be no screens given to you. So where will you get the last name from? Either you can hard code it here. You can just directly hard code it. Instead of putting this auto contact, you can say this one. That will also work. This is hard coded. So every account will have a contact called auto contact. I don't want to do that. I want to use a field value of my account to dynamically create it. That would be different, right? That is the reason I have chosen the description field.
So if I understand correctly,
Yeah.
so actually once I click the create contact checkbox,
Yeah.
that name and last name will be auto populated from here, right?
When I create, I will show this once again. This process builder is, it will start when when the account, only when a record is created. So when account record is getting created, at
Yeah.
that point it is going to the decision box.
Yeah.
So it is checking what? Checking that this condition is met. What condition is met? Account dot create contact checkbox equals true. That means checked.
Yeah.
And so there can be two options: either the boolean is true or the boolean is false. This condition is false. So if the checkbox is ticked, then it is true. If the checkbox is not checked, then it will go into false, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the true, I don't have to do anything. When it goes into false, I have no action. So I am not doing anything.
Yeah.
When it is true, what I want to do? I want to create a contact. And when I create a contact, two mandatory has to be filled, right? Then only
Yes.
it will happen. Either I can hard code these values.
So if create contact checkbox is checked, then in the contact object, a record actually the name and means first name and last name will be populated from account object from the name and description of the account object, right?
Not name, it is account number. So external
Account
ID
number. Okay.
I am putting from account number,
And
the last
from
name I
description.
am getting from, and it can be, like, you can also do a formula. It's not that you have to, you can build a formula. Like what you can say that insert a field from account first. So maybe in account number you choose, right? Then probably you can, like, in text operator you can choose like not needed. You can just add plus account number on top of account number. You do a plus. Maybe, I don't know, account number is what kind of field? Account number is a text field. Let me check that. Account number is a text field, so that's fine. So it will concatenate. So plus, maybe I will put a contact value, maybe another some account name, maybe something like, maybe the external ID together, account number and external ID together. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the formula I am using. So what will happen? I am taking two fields of account to push into the external ID field.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see that in action. Oh, value. So I have saved this now. So what is happening right now? I have created a formula field wherein I am concatenating or adding or not adding. It is just appending the account number, because both are text fields. Account number and external ID together. In the last name, I am putting whatever I have there. I am putting in the description field, and in account ID, I am putting directly the account ID, because this is a lookup field, right? I am safe now. I am going to activate this. I think there are more process builders on account object. I have to deactivate them. Give me one second.
So at a time only one process builder will be active.
No, what is the message we saw?
So it will deactivate automatically other.
No.
Okay.
It will not deactivate. This version you can keep on upgrading. Whenever you make a change, on an active version, it will become there is only one process builder right now.
Okay.
You can have multiple process builders. So what is the message we got here? Activate this process automatically deactivates any other active version of this process builder, not other process builders.
Okay.
So I have activated this process builder now. When I activate it, I go to this process builder once again. You see, it will now show you one activated process builder. This is active now. Clear?
Okay.
If I make changes, it will show as version 2. If I make changes, it will show version 3. So now let's test this. I will go to my account. I will create a new account. Is contact create is my name of the account. I should have a checkbox called create contact, right? Okay. Now I have, you see, this account has.
Can you please scroll up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So new contact. Okay, fine.
Now what I need is account number. So let's take an account number of 200, right? And I have a external ID field. Let's make this external ID field 300. And I have a mandatory field which I put some values. Okay. So 200 and 300. So what happens? Let us identify. It should automatically create me a new contact, which will have the external ID as what is the value?
300.
No. The contact external ID would be what?
200, 300.
200, 300. Yes, that's correct. And what is the name field? Last name will come from here, right? Paste contact. Can you put yourself on mute? Yeah. So test contact is the description field. So it will pull the description field from here.
Can you please explain that actually account how it is mapped to contact again? Means 200, 300. Can you please explain?
So if we go to that process builder, we have a formula field which clearly shows account number plus external ID, right?
Account number plus external ID, yes.
Both are text fields. So what will this plus operator do?
Both are text fields. So they will concatenate. Okay.
That's correct. That is why it is 200, 300. This is 200 and this is 300. So it will become 200, 300.
Okay.
And the last name will come from the description field, which I have full populated right now. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have fulfilled all the criteria.
So I am filling only those fields which I will require there in the contact object, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now I am doing save. You see, automatically a contact gets created for me with this contact. And let's see this contact deeper. The account name is already now filled up with test contact create, and in external ID I can see 200 create.
So that means every time when we work on the process builder, so this may happen that we have to give these external IDs and these sort of things which are not relevant to the contact. So then every time we need to change that contact details after the creation is happened.
No. This is just a demo requirement. I am just showing it that this can be done. Actual in requirement, you have to make sure that people put up the values, right? Probably you will need a validation rule to make sure that when create contact checkbox is ticked,
Yeah.
then this description field will become mandatory. You have to make it mandatory, right? Then only people will not forget value. Otherwise, the process builder will fail, right? It will not get the mandatory. Let us see what happens if the account I don't put the description field.
Sir, in account we don't have that last name field, but in for creating that contact with that for last name field is mandatory. So in that case, what we do in the real time case?
Real time case, you will map it to any field value.
So then we need to change it, right? Whenever
Change
the
what?
contacts get updated, whenever the contacts get created, we need to change it, or we need to that extract the contact from this description or any other fields.
Yes, of course. You might have to create a formula field to create this auto contact. Probably you have to. If there is a if there might be a requirement that there is a new field called sales manager, right? In this account, you take that value and you create the contact. Yeah.
Sir, I am saying that in contact, last name is mandatory. So
Right.
in last name, suppose my name is Gautam Bose, so Bose is mandatory. So Bose need to be there in contact. So if when we extract the contact from account, in account there is no contact field, like no name, last name or first name field.
Yes.
So we need to extract it from any other field in there. So that
That's
may
correct.
be,
Or
that
you can create a last name field also in account.
last name field. Yes, I am telling that only, sir.
Yeah,
So that
it
we
is
can,
your choice. It is based on the requirement you have from business.
okay. Sir,
You have to tell you have to tell this to your customer that these two fields are mandatory. What is my mapping? Where from will I get these values? When I auto create, they will tell you which field to use.
Sir, in real time, when this is being done,
this is not a real time situation. The real time situation are far different. It is just to make you understand that how contacts can be created or a child of records can be created when a parent record is getting created. It is completely dummy. Don't take it as actual requirements of life. This will never happen. Okay. So if I create a new account now, account create test negative, and probably I don't fill any value. Account number also I don't put because this is not a mandatory field, right? And I just do a create external field like to 400, mandatory field I fill some value and do a save. You are getting this message, right?
Why it is showing you this message?
Because these required fields are missing. The last name is missing, which is required for your creation of contact, right?
Yeah.
That is the reason it will fail. That is why probably you have to create a validation rule on account object to make sure if this text box is checked, then all the dependent fields from which you are extracting the last name value or other mandatory fields value of contact is also made mandatory. Clear?
Okay. Can you please show again how to create the validation rule means for this?
That's we have covered in last chapter. You can go and check the recording once again.
Okay.
I don't think we will have time to go to validation rules today. Okay. So let's move on. So is this clear now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So now if in the process builder itself, this is creating in the account create. If you want another process to fire when the account is updated, then obviously you have to go and create another process, right? So these are all different ways in which automation can be done. So process builder is a upgraded version of,
So actually one point means in the same process builder only one process can be active, right? Suppose
no. Process builder is just like workflow rules. You can create multiple rules. Similarly, in process builder, you can create multiple processes.
multiple processes. Okay.
Yes. This is one of the processes. This is my processes is written here. So
Okay.
these are process names. You have created first process.
Yeah.
You can create another process. You can create other process.
Okay.
Just like workflow rules can be multiple, similarly processes can be multiple.
Okay.
Using process builder, you create processes.
Okay, so actually multiple processes can be active as well as multiple process builders can also be active. So it's
Process
not
builders is not process builder is the type of configuration. Process builder is not nothing. Process builder is a builder of processes. This screen is called process builder.
yeah. Okay.
From process builder, you can create processes. So this is one of the process which we created. You can create more. Just like workflow rules is a screen from which you can create workflow rules. You can have multiple workflow rules.
Yeah.
Similarly, in process builder, you can go to process builder and create multiple processes.
Okay.
Workflow rule builder should be named, but it is not named workflow rule builder. It is called workflow rules. It is plural of rules, right? So here, you see, this is called rule name. So in workflow rules window, you can create multiple rule.
Okay.
Similarly, in process builder window, you can create multiple processes.
Okay.
Sir, but can we activate many processes at the same time?
Yes, why not?
Okay.
Absolutely, you can. Okay, but any one version of that processes will be active. You cannot have multiple version of the same process active. Okay.
Sir, you have said no the major difference between workflow and process builder. Like
Yeah.
what? So can you that repeat it once? The major difference.
So what did we do here? What did we do in this process builder? What did we implement?
We created a record.
Create a record. Can you create a record in workflow rule?
Yes, there is a
You can. Show me.
field update. No, you can update again.
You can update a field only. And
Yeah.
that also on that object itself or the master object, right? In process builder, you can do that. All that. Apart from that, you can create and update your child records also. So that is the major difference.
Okay, sir.
And it need not be master only. If you want to update your parent, any parent can be updated. It need not be master. So that is the major difference. Whatever limitations you are getting in workflow rule, you can get over that using process. Clear?
Sir, that means that the doubt that I have showed you by sharing my screen, so that can be done only by cross-object formula. We cannot do it by workflow, right?
Formula field is a read-only field which combines the value from different objects. Formula field is just for display. Formula field
Yes.
Formula field is not updated.
Yeah.
If you want to update a value by doing some kind of a calculation and persist that value, in that case you have to use a workflow rule or a process to update some field. Clear?
Okay. But in my case, I cannot do it with workflow because I have a course object and I have that child object as student in course.
Whatever you can do using formula field, you can also do using workflow rule field update.
Okay.
Clear? Only difference is you cannot do that for lookup parents. You can only do for masters. In using processes, you can do whatever you want to do. But remember what is the difference between a formula field and a actual field. The actual field has a actual data saved in that record. Formula field does not have any data saved. Formula field, when it is displayed at that point, it automatically calculates in runtime and shows it.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the difference. Roll up summary is also something which is created or called calculated runtime. When it is displayed to you, at that time this calculation is done. But the workflow rule updates, field updates, and process builder updates, whatever you want to do, that is a permanent fixed value that is saved in database. Whatever you are saving, you will see that it will not automatically change. Clear?
Yes.
So when you have many things to show from multiple objects, you have to make a clear distinction. Do you want to dynamically change the value? If you want to dynamically change the value, probably you have to go for formula. If it is a one time calculation, then probably you will use a workflow rule or a process builder. Clear? Any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we will see another thing called flow. Flow is also a process automation, just like process builders. You see. Just let's look at other automations. So this is process automations. So there are many process automation possible. That is a approval process, flows, next best action, then process builders. Right? These are the different process automations which we have. Approval processes is another thing which we will discuss later. But right now, let's discuss flows. When you create this, also flow will be created using flow builder. Process is creating using process builder. Flow is created using flow builder. You see, there are different kinds of flows. Okay. Mostly it is used for creating screen flows, but there can be record triggered flows also. So it is quite similar to process builders. The schedule triggered flow also, that is launched in a specific time, right? Then there is a platform event triggered flow also. The way that is a little advanced topic. And auto launch flow. There is no trigger. It is invoked directly by some process builders, or via some Apex code or REST API, and you can auto launch this. So this runs in background, so you don't see anything happening on the screens. Only screen flow is the thing which you will see on screen, or you can create a wizard like screen using screen flow. Okay. Hold on. So let's see first the screen flow, and then we'll also discuss the record triggered flow.
Actually, what is the difference between flow and process builder?
Flow has a UI. Process builder does not have a UI.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a free from wherein you can do like, you can just like the process builder, you have a flow diagram, and here these are this automatically they will create this for layout. It is in beta, will not get in there. So let's see a free from process builder. So what happens is that you create a screen. In that screen, flows is quite quite complicated. It's just like developing a screen itself. So you go ahead and study it yourself, but I will go into the basics of a screen design. So if you see the different kinds of text fields that is possible, you can create that in the process builder itself. So it is like, let us put some text boxes like text field and another. I will put another. So in text field, I will probably take a last name. And I will have another text field, which probably I will say as external ID. I will mark both these fields as required. This is a screen element for a screen flow. You can connect this together. And you can do a create record here. Here, create contact. Equals to create one. We have to create some values, variables. Yeah. So I will not go into the details of setup. You will see this is the screen in which I am taking the text fields. And then from these text fields, I have to populate variables. And from that variables, I will have to go and create a record into database. Okay. So that is how we will create a screen flow. And that screen flow, you can connect to any quick action and you can fire this. So it just can be one screen, it can be multiple screen. You can have one screen after filling up one screen, another screen comes up, then you can create another. So a wizard-like activity you can create using your flows. It's a quite detailed and elaborate process. You can go through the modules and finish that. Apart from that, in process builders, okay, just before that, I will also go and talk about the screen flow. In flows, there is another flow which is called I think there is one create reset password is managed. Create a case. Let's see this one. You will see. I will give an example of a flow. If you see this flow, there is a screen flow. Then this is the assignment stage. So if I run this, how will that look like? Yeah. First name and last name. So I will put maybe Animesh Banerjee. This is not the screen flow I designed. This is an example which has been already created. I'm just saying how it will work. So this is creating a case record. Okay. So this is the first screen. Then I have a second screen. I have put some phone numbers. So it's a wizard-like activity you are creating, and you create next. And what is a case type? Case subject, test flow, next. Is the flow is firing for us, right? So you see, this is the case number that has been generated. So here you have created a step-by-step process through which you can create a record. So you go to now the case object. And you see this test flow case has been now created for us using the flow. And you see in the flow what happened. First is the assignment stage. First the screen came. Then basically then the next screen came, customer details screen came. Then we got the record. Then there is a decision making. Does the contact exist or not? We created some records. This is quite a complicated step-by-step process through which you can achieve this using a flow. You can go forward and do this. So it has a UI through which you can do. So without writing a single line of code, you can create screens in Salesforce using the flow. Clear? For admin, it is very important that you understand how to work with flows so that you can create screens in Salesforce without the necessity of or new screens without having the necessity of appointing any developer. Developer can create the same screen using Apex and Lightning components, which is not needed. In using flows, you can create your own screen without writing a single line of code. Is it clear now?
Okay, I have one question. So when I am clicking next and whatever it is doing, so it is actually saving the record in the database after I am clicking next. So actually whatever I am inputting through UI, it is getting saved in the database behind that.
May not be. It is based on your decision. So how the flow is getting based on how the flow you have created, based on that it is taking the decision. So what happens here? Screen 1, screen 2. There is no save happening between these two screens.
Okay.
So the save is happening here. After that decision is created. That first what it is doing in the second screen, it is asking for the contact, right?
Yeah.
From that contact, it is searching for a contact. And if the contact does not exist, then if the contact is not found, then there is some separate decision. There is another assignment, and it will ask for another screen. Okay.
Okay.
But if the contact exists, then it does not exist. Probably the contact is first created.
Yes.
And then basically again the value is pushed back, and then the screen is given to them. So it depends on what is your logic. When the record saving will happen, it is up to you.
Okay.
Here the record saving is happening 2 times, for creating of contact and creating of case.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If you see this one after another the screens, let's go and check this screen. the first screen, it is showing, it is asking your first name and last name, right? That is exactly it happened. And then second screen, it will come and show you what is call, script, email, and phone. These are the three.
Assignment, that assignment one.
Which one?
Assignment.
This is basically assigning the variables. This is what I was doing, right? You have created a variable which you will assign it to a output field of the screen. Correct?
Not getting this.
How will you take the values of screen 1 and screen 2 and then use it in the next step? You have to store these values somewhere, right?
Yeah, for that we are creating record.
No, for that first you have to create variable. If you write a code and you have a text box, first you assign that to a variable, right?
Yeah,
then you use that variable to create the record.
Yes.
The same thing you will do here. You will first create some variables for each text boxes, store that values of those text boxes into variables so that you can later use it. And then when the actual record you want to save or create, in that case, you will use those variables. Variable is a temporary storage of your inputs till the actual record is created. Clear?
Okay.
Same logic happens here. So you will create variables first, assign this to the each input box or text boxes. Then basically do what kind of lookups. If you want to do any kind of a checking, you can directly run your query and find out anything, take decisions, and then create records. Clear? Similarly, let's look at a reset password flow. Here what happens, if you this is get records contact ID, then you have a decision that contact is found or not. Then basically you have the decision, then get records, verify the screen, and then you go and assign this. On that verification, you can look at this is a big one which has been done, and then email will be sent after resetting the password. Okay, so complicated step-by-step screens or different custom screens you can create using flows. But flows is not only creating screens. Flows can be used seems my internet went slow. Sometimes there are some things for which you also need to use flows apart from process builders, which does not have UI. So probably record triggered flow would be required, or auto launch flow would be required. So it exactly looks very similar to a flow, but here basically you see there is no UI element. It is only action and decision making element. So this might be needed in some records, which is not directly accessible using process builders. Clear? So this second set which I showed you, this would be required to extend the capabilities of process builder. An example would be to share records when you are adding account teams or team records or creating team records. Okay, that would be one example wherein you would need this. Anyway, so what else? Okay, flows we covered. Approval processes. This is the last topic of the day. It is very important. Approval processes are applicable when you want to put a whole record for approvals. when you do a record for approvals, that record becomes, usually we do these approvals for any transaction record. That would be like an opportunity or a quote. Quote is the most used uh, uh, record for approvals, but opportunity sometimes can also be used, mainly the transaction. So if you create two ways you can set up. You can use a jumpstart wizard or a standard setup wizard. Let's see both. So here basically you create a opportunity approval. This entry criteria is not mandatory. We can choose the submitter to choose the approver. You can automatically assign approver. Okay, you say that a manager of mine will be approving this. In that case, you have to set up a role hierarchy. Okay, and automatically assign to approver. You can say that I have in the user object I have some field to which it will be automatically assigned. That you can also do. Okay, so let me first choose this and save it. And now approval details page. In this details page, you can add steps. You see, when you put a record for approval, what happens is that the record gets locked till it is not approved. Okay, so that is very important, that you approve that record till the if you want to go and edit it. But the system administrator can go and edit it even if the record is put for approval. Okay, so system admin has overriding powers. So if you want to do some action like email alert or field update or outbound message or create a task when the record is put for approval, you can add this here. Now you can go and do a approval step. You can say there is a 3-step, like step 1, step 2, step 3, right? And you can say this is step 1. If you have multiple levels of approval, and you can also select which records will get into this step. So let us select like a opportunity amount is greater than 10,000. Then only I would need an approval. And then let submitter choose automatically manually. I keep that automatically assigned. That can also be done. What should happen if the approver rejects this request? That needs to be also done. So if rejected, then what will happen? And what will happen if it is activated? So perform all rejections for this step and add final rejection criteria. Perform all rejection for this step and send. So perform all rejection action for this step and all final rejections. So this is when this is rejected, at that time this will go to the final rejection criteria. So it creates a task for you automatically when you have to approve. Now assign to, maybe it is assigned to assigned approval. I am creating a task automatically when the approval comes to the person. Okay, So you see, I have this is step 2. Forgot this. So the first is the step, and then you can add corresponding steps. Like I have put a filter that if opportunity is greater than 10,000, then only the next step would be approved. Next approval is rejected. Otherwise, it's not done. What is the final rejection behavior? I will say a field update. I will do a field update. Close. So what is the field update? Probably I will change the stage to close lost. Close lost. If the opportunity is rejected, I will change the step to close lost. Yeah, so what happens now? And probably what is the final approval action? Here I add, when it is approved at that time, I will make this Opti1. This will be stage. This will happen when I approve the order. It is closed 1. Yeah. So what happens? Here, let me edit a condition. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go back to that. So this is the approval, right? Opportunity approval. Here I have 2 steps. One is, first step is that I have to approve this for when the opportunity is submitted. I have a second step of approval if it is amount is greater than 10,000. In any of the step, if I reject, the opportunity will be marked as closed lost. If I approve in both the steps, then it will be marked as opportunity 1. Why approvals are required? Approvals are required for showing visibility to my managers and higher up bosses that I am doing the business correctly. I have to go to the opportunity object. And I have to go to the page layout of opportunity object. And I think it is the opportunity layout only which we are working. We'll see. And here there are many buttons. One is submit for approval. This button is needed to be added. Yeah. Let me check the layout assignment once again, that we properly modified the current one. I am system admin, I am using opportunity layout. That's correct. So we are done. Now another step is remaining. I have to go back to my opportunity. Approval. I have to, otherwise nothing will. So I activate my approval process. If you have multiple approval processes, you can mark them in orders. Yeah. Done. So let's go back let's see if I am able to see the sales new UI. So we will go to an existing opportunity. Actually, Jan. This is already closed, so I don't want this. So probably. Here I have now a new button called submit for approval, right? So if I now submit this for approval and I comment please approve. Usually we will do this when a negotiation, you are in the negotiation stage and you just want to close this opportunity. At that moment, you will ask your boss to approve it. Normally, that is how the business process works. So this closed, you are not marking yourself. Probably that will be automatically marked by system. So if that is the case, then you say please approve. And I do a submit for approval. So I will choose myself as my approver. And if I choose myself as an approver, usually if I go to my home, you see it is showing us me that I have to approve this. This is not the Jan. Well, which one did we select? February. Yeah. So usually I get a tax notification. Hold on, I have to check with. I have to call Shobhan for his mailbox. Just give me 1 second. Give me a second. I am not using my account for login. So I didn't realize that. So this is a notification which will come to your mailbox for approving. Yeah, so we have seen this is the approval request which has come to me, right? And if I go to this request, and I here it is asking me to approve, reject, or reassign, right? If I approve it, what should happen? Anybody? Opportunity won, right? So I will go back and check that once again. So where is my opportunity? Here is my sales. So this is which opportunity I am looking at? I am looking at Red Chili's February, right? So if I go here, this is February. Usually this mail will go to my boss. I am now playing my boss itself. So I will now approve this, and I said go ahead, and I approve it. So when I approve, at that moment, this is this, and I do a refresh now on this screen, which is in negotiation stage. And this is now closed won. Clear? Similarly, let's create another opportunity for Red Chilies. Maybe April. And I have stage. This is also for in the negotiation review stage. Right? And I also submit for approval. Please approve. I do a submission. And I choose myself. I'm working as my boss. So I will get another mail on my mailbox. Now here is the new mail. I will go again to this. Here I can do a reject. I can even reassign this. Maybe I am on vacation. I don't want to work. Probably somebody else needs to take a decision at that moment. I can reassign that, right? So let's reject, and no need to go ahead. I reject it. Yeah, and then I go here and I close, and it is close lost. Are you clear how a approval process works?
Yes, sir.
This is giving a visibility to my super bosses, and it can be multiple. Like I can create another opportunity. It's a one-step approval, right? Which we are seeing here. One guy is approving it, but it can be multi-step also. So if I create a opportunity, Red Chili's May, and I have Red Chili's account, and I closed it in May 31st. Again, stage 2 negotiation, and probably amount is what? Amount here it maybe more than 15,000 we gave, right? So we'll set this up now, and I will put this to submit for approval. Please approve. And I give this to my boss, who is me. And I see now his mailbox, mail comes to me for approval. And why this mail is coming to me? Because I do not know when some sales agent is sending me to invite, right? So I need an alert to understand that I have some things to approve. So now I have approved this. Go ahead, wait now, and I approve this. You see, the next approval comes immediately for me, because this is a two-step process. What I did is that more than one 10,000 will go for a two-step approval. So I can now assign to my boss for the next approval. But here I am the boss of myself also. So it will come back to me now. And you see, this is now pending with another guy. So when this goes to my boss will get another mail like this. And my boss has to go there and see this, and he will have to again do the same, either approve or reject. If I approve, then basically my final two-step approvals happened, and then my opportunity got closed. Why this two-step happened? Because if you remember, when we went into the approval process, I said that the second step would be applicable for more than an opportunity with more than 10,000 amount value, right? If you see this opportunity once again, this is the second step approval person, which is amount greater than 10,000. That's why this second step is now fired. Clear? Tell me anything, any questions, confusions till now? Otherwise, we'll close the class for today. I think we covered 3 topics today: process builders for creating processes, which are bigger versions of workflows. Then flows, through which you can create screens without writing any code, and you can do wizard-like screens, one after another, screens coming one after another. And third is approval processes. By default, Salesforce gives us approval process. You can do multiple levels of approvals. You can have single levels of approvals, conditional approvals, all these things you can do using approval processes. So these are the 3 things which we covered today. Any queries so far?
No, sir.
I want you to go and practice all the 3 things, come up with questions, search for modules wherein you can do the practice.
Okay.
And get back to me. These 3 topics are absolutely important, very, very critical. Because next day we will go to reports, and the day next would see advanced visibility. For that we will go with the record level security in deep dive, how to share records. Yeah. Okay. So we are getting into very, very advanced topics. So please do not fall behind.
Okay, sir.
Pratik, you are, I think, going a little slow because you are still asking questions on validation rules. So please find time to go through the last session and practice validation rules and workflow rules, and then today's class.
Okay.
And what about Gautam? You are feeling confident?
Yes, I'm doing a bit, but I'm in the beginning of that intermediate of admin. So
Yes.
this process builder and flow only I'm not able to understand over the module also. I'm trying to solve those. I'm trying.
Yes. So process builder is quite easy. Approval process is also very easy. I think the flows would be a little complicated because it has multiple screen elements to map to and so on. It will take time, but with some practice, you will and come up with questions in the sessions. We can discuss that. But I don't want you to do an end-to-end flow here because that will take around 2 hours to complete, and we'll waste time on other things. Yeah. Okay. That should be all from my end. And thanks for joining today's class. And please do practice. Very important. If you do not practice, we'll get into advanced topics which would be meaningless for you. Please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for joining the
Thank you,
call.
sir.
Nice chat.
Thank you.
Happy weekend.
Same to you, sir. Bye.
Bye.